Hey guys, today I would like to make a quick video about Pluto transits. Well, this is actually my first video about future or about transits, even though my crazy Uranus in my birth chart is all about some sort of future vision, and that's why one of my services is definitely future predictive horoscope, okay? So in this video I would like just briefly talk about my personal experiences with Pluto transits. I had two, actually more, but these were like the most significant because it's been a decade actually when I had experienced Pluto transiting to my Sun. Pluto was actually squaring my Sun in 2010, and this was probably the most difficult transit I had. I already had a bunch of stuff as everyone, but now I can compare it because in 2014 I had Pluto squaring my Mercury, and my Mercury is my rising, right? I'm Virgo rising, so obviously at that time I was very worried, but it was less difficult. When it comes to my first experience, I guess that the reason why this was so difficult for me was because I have Leo on the cusp of the 12th house, okay? My Sun is in the first, but I have Leo rules my 12th house, so this was actually time of isolation. This was actually time which was very difficult on me psychologically. I actually was going through pregnancy with my daughter, and it was very risky, okay? So you can tell that these difficult Pluto transits, especially if they are somehow linked to 12th house, they will really lead you to isolation, okay? And to hospitals and things like that. It was very present at that time, but what I remember probably the most was my sort of anxiety levels, because it was really so high. I have never had such worries and even panic attacks during my life since then. At the time I have been in astrology, so I could rationally understand that this is this transit which is happening to me, but honestly I didn't see it coming. Problem is that these thoughts were very unconscious, but I don't know, even though I was going through a risk, okay? So it was really objectified at that time with that pregnancy, but I mean, it's been almost 11 years now, so hopefully I would be able to cope with it better now, but at that time, it really smashed me, right? But the reason why I'm talking about it is because even if we are going through difficult Pluto transits, what has happened to me, and I can tell because it's been years now, is that it will really change you on some deep level, okay? Because when you are really facing Pluto transits, you are able, or you are actually forced to dive deeper, right? You really have to go deeper, and you really have to pretty much face your shadows. So but it is very difficult because Pluto operates unconsciously, and we are people who are conscious, so it is very difficult for us to grasp these subtleties or things like that. But You know, as they say that once you experience Pluto transits, nothing will be the same for you. It is actually true. Because especially if you undergo these difficult transits, you will not be the same again. And it's true, because you will become much more stronger, wiser, and even ready to change, right? Because Pluto transits are here for our own transformation, you know. But I really don't want to scare you in this video. That's why I have another example. It was really 2014, and I was undergoing Pluto squaring Mercury, and Mercury is my chart ruler, so I was obviously, you know, in panic mode already. But somehow I realized that I have already survived this Pluto Sun thing, so I hoped that I will be able to do that again, but in, you know, much more peaceful way. And I was right. I was pregnant again. So obviously both my pregnancies were linked to difficult Pluto transits, but you know, it was actually very different. I don't know why. Maybe because no 12th house was not involved. My Mercury is in second house, so it's different energy, and this was actually much more smoother. Yes, I was still in, you know, in doctor offices, etc. But I was able to handle it much better. You know, I didn't have like any depression or things like that. I was still at very risky levels of pregnancy, but you know, even when I was going through that time, I was somehow able to cope with it better. You know, it was very pretty much conscious decision, because I really told myself that I already survived, right? One time, and everyone is fine, everyone is doing fine. So I'm strong enough to do that one more time. So I was really working with myself, with my pretty much, you know, like mental toughness, you can tell. But I was definitely in my bubble, and this time I was actually listening to me and to my intuition, and not so much to my doctors. You know, I have to say it as it is, because, you know, they will always tell you the worst case scenarios, and this is somehow how these difficult Pluto contacts work, that you know, someone or something really bothers you, and someone really wants to scare you and really scares you off, and you really don't know what to do with it. So I have actually two different experiences, even though objectively both pregnancies were very risky. Even that second one was actually more risky from doctor's point of view, but I actually handled it much better. Okay, now last year I had a transit of Pluto to my Saturn, Pluto square Saturn, and it's because in my natal chart I have Pluto conjunct Saturn. So I was obviously curious what this transit will bring, but honestly, you know, every time when there is Pluto involved, there is tension. You can feel the pressure of life, let's say, but you know, I really cannot tell you what exactly happened. So I really don't remember anything specific or something. So probably I was just handling, you know, duties and obligations of life, but it was not impactful, okay, from the outside. You know, this year I'm going to have Pluto square Pluto, because I'm 38 now. It's much more generational, and I will tell you then what will happen. But one more thing before I sign off. Decade ago, or it's not decade, it's like 6 years, my spiritual teacher told me that if you are really able to meditate and to really go within and to really work on your patterns, you know, and to really face your shadows before Pluto transit comes, then you are able to handle it much better, and there will be no alter situation which will force you to go within. Okay, this is actually very interesting point, because I think that partially I somehow, even though I didn't know about it at that time, I applied it to my second Pluto transit, because I was, you know, much more spiritual. I was able to go within, you know, I was pretty much able to work with myself and with my worries, fears, anxiety, you know. So I think that this helped. I would be really, you know, pleased if you will share your experiences with Pluto transits with me, because I find it fascinating. And even though, especially with difficult contacts, we can tell that something will definitely happen, something very life-changing based on the planet involved, house involved, etc. But I think that at the end of the day, these transits really shape our personalities, and you know, I would not trade this experience for anything. Okay guys, thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching this video. I'm here for you if you want to book a personal with me. I am relationship astrologer, but obviously I can interpret anything for you: natal chart, you know, relationship, horoscope, predictions, of course. Then I can offer you career reading, you know, money reading, even child reading, child horoscope, or I have love horoscope for singles, if you will, and I am also a tarot reader. So if anything is, because sometimes we are not really able to answer everything with astrology, then I have my cards, and sometimes I even combine, you know, my horoscope readings with tarot cards if my clients have very specific questions. Okay guys, so I wish you a very nice day, and bye bye.